Hi guys, welcome to TV Movie Mistress. As always, I'm your host Mo. I'm back this week for a recap, a review, my thoughts, gushiness, light reflecting off my goddamn glasses. I'm gonna figure it out. I actually had my contacts in earlier, but they were so dry because I basically turned my heat on to like 85, and I was just like this. I was doing that. I was like, let me take off my contacts, and then I remembered the reflection thingy. But guys, it is what it is. Apologies. Because if I'm like, anyway, I just wanted to get this video out there. If I am in the mood, I do it. If I'm not in the mood, it will never get done. So here I am. And I just finished watching episode 3 of Having Official's Blessing. So of course, I had to come here and talk to you guys about it. Also, FYI, this is also going to be going up on the podcast feed as an audio only. Episode 1 and 2 I actually recorded a video for, and again, I came in staticky and breaking up, but the audio was fine. It was just I look fucking crazy visually, so I just took the audio and I uploaded that to the podcast, so you can find that. There is no video reaction. I mean, if that's the thing you're here for. But episode 3, there is a video reaction. Episode 1 and 2, there is no video reaction. So I would suggest and would ask nicely that you go and subscribe to the podcast itself, which is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically everything. Just type in TV Movie Mistress and it'll be in the show notes. It's in the About page and all of that stuff. So now that I've got that out of the way, before we even get started with anything, well, I'm going to move this to the side of it so I can see my notes about this episode. Okay. Episode 3 is titled... It's not the title. Episode 3 is titled Confidants Past Grudge. And they are not fucking joking. But first and foremost, before we sort of get into the overall insanity of this week's episode, I wanted to play the intro like I've talked about in the past. I love the intro. It's very haunting. It's very beautiful. It's very... Let me play it. Now, YouTube might be like, nah, bitch, you can't play this. So you might hear dead silence, just a heads up. Again, the podcast, this is sort of where a different medium pays a bit more. But I'm going to go ahead and play the intro. It's beautiful. I need to buy this soundtrack. But here we go. It's just...
情丝挥剑，断了纠缠仍相连，有谁怜灭了明灯对残月？往事化蝶，掠过花丛又离别，忍着泪。
Now, I don't want to play too much of it. Let's not tempt the gods. But I love it. It's just, I need to find, I know the lyrics, but I need to immerse myself a little bit more in it, because I think with intros, you kind of get into it, and then the episode happens, and then you forget, and then it's the end, and it's a cycle. But I fucking love this intro, y'all. Let me go 20 seconds in and play a bit more. So that is the intro to Having Official's Blessing. So again, I'm watching it on Funimation. I guess I should say this isn't a paid ad because my ass is paying for the subscription. But I know a lot of people were angry they couldn't see Having Official's Blessing on YouTube. I was one of those idiots who paid for a subscription and then realized that they would not be airing Having Official's Blessing on the Bilibili YouTube channel. They got my money for the month, whatever. like $5.99. But Funimation is where I would suggest you watch it, or the Bilibili like official website, or if you have the VPN, like please try and support the actual show. There's horrible bootleg copies. Like you need to see the graphics, the animation. You need to see this in the full glory. The people that like put so much work into this, like create it. So normally I'm like, whatever, watch it wherever the fuck you can. Like, I'm not like you went to a streaming web. Like, I don't give a fuck. But this I'm gonna be like, I give a fuck a bit. So yeah, so let's get into this week's episode. Episode 3, Confidants Pass Grudge, which in a way, let me lean back a little bit. Let me get comfortable. Are y'all ready? In a way, like this week's episode, I'm gonna try and see if I can gain this glare by finding a comfortable spot. Let's see. There we go. Maybe, kind of. We'll figure it out, guys. We will figure it out, and you guys will just hopefully forgive me. I think this works a bit. Okay, so because I have to read my show notes, I can't have the video up, and now I'm just chilling. But episode 3 is the reveal that the ghost groom is not a fucking ghost groom. It is, in fact, a ghost bride. And everything in episode just immediately goes to shit in the best of ways. Like, you're not going to hear me complain. But with this revelation from Shylin... Oh, do you just ever stare at the wall and you're like, I wonder what Shylin doing? Like, and then you're just like, why is Shylin the cutest? And then it's like, why can't Shylin get all the roses? Do you do that? Let's be fun on Twitter. Come hang out on Twitter. So Shylin has realized that like the ghost groom is a ghost bride. And she has like all these fucking like minions who are just like fucking killing people. That's sort of what they do. And but the trick is if you cover them with their veil, like their wedding veil, they sort of freeze, right? They just go like, oh. So like Shylin is like trying not to like kill them. He's like, let's get these veils on them. But they're also attracted by noise. And one of the most annoying thing about this episode since last week's episode is the fucking villagers. Half of these motherfuckers are trying to catch the ghost groom because sure, what are you gonna do? Take the ghost groom to jail? Like, if you've watched this week's episode, that dumbass, the bald dumbass, good for him. He deserved that. I don't even fucking care. But these villagers just, like, I'm watching this and trying to justify it, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe, like, the economy in their town is horrible. But I'm like, this is the fucking worst idea. You would have better luck going into the mountains with a bunch of people where the threat, like, and, like, catching wolves and then selling their pelts. That would be less dangerous and more productive than whatever the fuck he thought they were going to do. But villagers are down. And again, I don't know if that's supposed to be, like, intentional. Like, oh, like, humans are stupid and gods are not. Like, I don't know. But, yes, humans are stupid. But BC, gods also make really, really bad decisions. So, Shylin... 1, makes the cutest fucking bride. Let us not forget that. And we get to see some amazing moves from him in said wedding dress. He's just like, and like you see Shylin and he's so cute and he's so giggly. But like, homie's like, you can catch these hands. And he shows you them hands. And that's why I love him. That's why he's my fave. Until Watchen comes in. And then you'll see. It's just like amazing. Okay, so we see some moves from him, and then we get to the realization as Shylin. Like, I need to see my face as I tell you what we realize what the fuck is about to happen with Shylin. I'm so tempted to get up and just, like, figure out my life with this, like, light. There we go. Maybe I could do that. Okay. I can't wait. This was a bad decision in taking off my contacts. Okay, so Shylin Shylin basically pieces the information together for us, the viewers, which is that the ghost bride exists simply because General Pei fucking Ming got his dick wet. I don't know about you. This is an 18 plus only podcast / YouTube channel. So yeah, Pei Ming, the story of this is a very sad story. Well, let me just start with that in case you haven't watched this week's episode. This is sad. This is tragic. This is everything. This is all of the above, but in its very crude form. It's about a dude getting his dick wet. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. That was the first thought that jumped out at me. But yeah, we get to the realization that Pei Ying and Xuanji, who is the ghost bride, had a thing that has now morphed into something else. And I highly encourage that you watch this week's episode. Highly. Between the graphics, the plot, and just delicious. Okay, so we've got all of this happening. Everyone's fighting. Everyone's jumping. And then Shylan figures it out. And then we get the reveal. We get the introduction of fucking Xuanji. And y'all, this bitch is batshit crazy. I was like, oh, you're crazy. Got it. Like I said, this was an episode that made me feel all the feelings. I laughed, I cried. I was like, y'all are fucking ridiculous. Okay, so she comes out. She's batshit crazy. And Shylan has sort of gotten the situation contained a bit. All the villagers are still being stupid, even that little girl. Y'all, she's a very brave and stupid little girl. Start with that. But all the villagers are just causing havoc as Shylan is trying to stabilize the situation. And then that is when something that finally happened, and I loved it. At this point in the story, the main thug, the leader of the thugs, he has been saved 5 different times from his own stupidity. And finally, again, when he is trying to pull the little kid with the bandages, when he's trying to pull him to go turn him in, I was like, dude, what is your fucking damage? Do you not see ghost brides all around you? And you're trying to drag this kid where? Do you not see the magical encampment around you? Anyway, the ghost bride solves my frustration very quickly as she... God, this is where I wish I had video. I'm going to try and get better with this. But this is when she basically just runs up. That bitch is crazy. She runs up, grabs homie's head like that, from the back. And we don't see what she does. But she rips him to shreds. And I was fine with it. Because he just continued to be the fucking worst, not read his surroundings, and just chill the fuck out. So I was fine that he died. I kind of laughed actually. But unfortunately, the next person to catch Xuanji's hands, apologies for pronunciation, but the next person to catch her hand is that little peasant girl. Who, again, very brave, but yet quite so stupid. She tries to save... Was it Shylan she was trying to save? Shylan is a whole ass, grown man, minimum, God, maximum. But you gonna run up with your stick. And I don't know if she's supposed to be an allegory for the selflessness of humanity, but nah, fuck that shit. Bitch is dumb. There are extremes in both of this, and she, in a sense, is just his dad. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Tell me, because I feel like I'm coming off, really harsh on this little girl who just wanted to do good. But, common sense goes a long way in certain types of situations. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, the thug dies, this cute little girl dies, and then we finally get the reveal of what has brought all of this about. I mean, yes, General Pei is dead, yes. So, we get, Shylan, who is so brave. He's like, look, I ain't got no magic, but I need to defend these people, so let me take on this bitch. And he is ready to go head to head with Xuanji when all of a sudden the clouds open up. There's light, and it's fucking bells and shit. And you see this hot motherfucker just strutting in out of nowhere and being like, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, exactly like that. I know, I give great descriptions. So he just struts in, and I'm like, oh shit, it's General Pei Ming. Yeah, I have read this book, and there's so much, because again, this is like 200 plus chapters. I can only so much can soak through. But I was like, oh shit, it's General Pei Ming. But we but we find out it's Pei Jr. It's a descendant of the original general who fucked Xuanji, and he is too busy to come and see his ex-girlfriend. And she's like, wow, wow. When we were dating, he would fly through half the world to come and meet me. I was like, yeah, that's what guys do when they want to fuck. Like, they will cross state lines, girl. Like, I felt really bad for her. She made all the wrong life decisions. But yeah, he comes through, and we get the sad ass story of Zhuangji. And we sort of get this story. Ooh, I'm trying to be comfortable. This story is the perfect example of how two people will have a story, and the middle is the truth. Because Shylan has heard, oh, she betrayed her country for General Pei so he could win the war. And then, like, Pei Jr. comes out of nowhere, and he's like, oh, is that... He's like, oh, that's cute. Is that what she said happened? And then we get the full reveal. Her nation, his nation, both at war. Her side is losing. And basically they come to talks, and he's like, your country is losing, but I like what you're putting down. And she's like a fucking warrior woman. She's there, and she's like, And he's like, you're pretty. Has anyone told you should smile more? And she's like, I'm a general. No one will listen to me if I smile because patriarchy. And he's like, but you cute though. And then they start fucking. Except like he just wants to fuck. And she's like picking out baby clothes and trying to get and planning like invites. And I was like, girl, please read the room. Right? And then we find out, oh my God, this is just... Okay, so and then we find out, right? So they're in this relationship, and there's this one scene, y'all, that just hurts my feelings for her. Because it is after they've been like having relations for a while, right? The narrative is like, and then Zhuangji wanted more, and General Pei was like, nah, bitch. And that scene is explained perfectly. You see, the scene is Zhuangji gives Pei Ming a back hug, right? And you could just see the thirst in her face. And Pei Ming also sees the thirst in her face. And he just looks at her like, nah. And he's just like, her thirst was so strong. He was like, we're not doing this. And then you just see her tragically start to unravel, right? Like the same thing he loved about her, she quickly did not become. Maybe the bitch had been starved for love. Like the bitch had been at war for a decade, and a dude said she was pretty, and she was like, fuck all this other shit. Like, I don't know. But whatever it is, she quickly starts to unravel. And you see that in the form of her being like, I'll do anything for you. Like, basically she's calling him 100 times a day, and he's not picking up. And that leads to her going to him with the secret plans of her country, who's already losing, by the way. And she's like, here, she basically is like, well, first he's like, I think we should break up. He's like, we're on two different countries. Your side is losing. Maybe you should go back. And she's like, nah, boo, I want to stay here. And then she comes back to him, and she's like, look, this is all of my country's secrets. This is the part where she betrays her country. She tells him, here's the plans. Go destroy my country. And then when you, win, come and get me. And then we'll get She needed better friends. That's all I'm going to say. Like, girl. So she was like, and then you can come marry me. And then the war was over. And then he won. And then he did not come. I mean, he came for her. But he did not come for her. And it is just... And we also saw he did not use the fucking plan she gave him. He burnt that shit. He didn't need it. Bitch, y'all were already losing. Like, what was your raggedy-ass plan going to do other than, speed it up so you can get your, pussy wet? Like, what was happening? What was happening? But, gotta remember to put the rated R on this shit. But it's like, What did you think was happening? And it's just so sad, right? Because it's a human story. You love someone, it doesn't go the way you think, you should probably let it go. Most people do, a small minority don't, and it escalates. Like, I think I was watching a video on Twitter where, like, some chick, like, blew up a dude's car. That's a thing. Same thing we see here. She slowly starts to unravel. She has betrayed her country for a dude who gives zero fucks. And again, because he's basically like, I don't want you. She's like, I betrayed my country. You don't want me. Fuck it all. Takes a sword and cuts. I don't know if she like cuts her legs or basically she's crippled. She's disabled, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, she thinks he's gonna like take care of her. He's gonna take responsibility. It's like, nah, bitch. He takes care of her. He does. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but he doesn't marry her. There's no love. He's just like, I will take care of you. And that just breaks her heart and she commits suicide. And in committing suicide, she becomes a vengeful spirit who turns into the ghost bride. And all this while she's been at Pei Ming's like temple fucking it up, thinking that's gonna bring him out to her. She's like, I've been fucking up your statues, fucking up your temples to get your attention. And that dude does not care. That dude don't care, girl. It's been like 100 years. You've killed 17 brides. You've terrorized an entire town. But she crazy. She's lost her mind. But it's so sad and tragic. Again, I don't care about Thug Guy, but like that sweet little girl died. Right? You've had 17 brides simply because they were smiling on the way to their weddings were killed by her. Because a dude just likes to fuck. And you didn't realize that. And then you became a ghost and you started terrorizing. It's so sad, y'all. It's like, and that's what I love about Mojang Kong. She'll give you like such a simple story. Like, I went to the store today, and like between home and the store, you will just like cry and break your heart, and you will have the greatest plot twist. But yeah, so we get the reveal, we get the backstory. Pei Ming is fine. Girl, I understand. Would not have gone that far, but I understand. So we're back in the present day. Like, Pei Jr. has told the story, and she's basically gonna be like taken under arrest. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put her in the mountain. And Shylan is like, see, she's so not petty. She's so angry and vengeful. A mountain will not be able to contain her. She wants closure. She wants closure from a fuckboy. And it's like, ma'am, you're not going to get it. And that hurts. Because, like, some people, you just need closure sometimes. But you also just need to learn how to move on without closure as well. But, yeah, so Pei is taking her. Pei Jr. is taking her. She's going to get buried somewhere, house arrest, whatever. And you just see her. She's just like, wow. Homeboy didn't even come to see me because what is he doing? I was just like, he don't care. But yeah, so they take her, and then we get a light comedic moment, kind of, for the last couple of minutes, and like they're burying the body. They're basically telling the peasants, like, you guys can't be in shit. Like, please light incense for these dead brides if you would like to stay in this village and not be haunted by like people who died horribly. You've got that little boy who that little girl kept helping, and they buried the little girl. Shylan's, Nan Yang and Huyao are still being stupid. It's adorable. But yeah, Shylan buries that girl, and he tells the little boy, hey, maybe take off your bandages. And when Shylan takes off his bandages, he realizes, like, there's basically a disease on his face that spreads into an epidemic, that the last time Shylan saw the same shit, it was during the downfall of his kingdom. And that's how the episode ended. It's amazing because now we have this mystery of whatever the fuck is on this little boy's face that can spread into other people's faces and become terrifying. So what is it? I don't know. But yeah, I was just like, wow. So I think that's all I've got. This episode was great. Again, like I said, all the emotions, sad, angry, forlorn, regretful. The entire team is just doing a fantastic job on this show. But again, the original blessings go to Mo Tang. She's an amazing and fantastic author. I love her. She opens up a world that you can't see, and in there is a theme, is a message, like with the Untamed, Grand Demonic Cultivation. It's always about the fact that like people judge you, and then people will box you to fit their own themes, and how do you like react in that world and be your own unique self, right? That's fucking the Untamed. And I'm not going to say much about Heaven's official blessings, but like, let's say Scum Villain, it's about being able to change, grow, learn, and, be fucked by the evil villain slash good guy. It's complicated. But what I'm saying is she's able to write such character development, growth. She's able to flesh out her characters so well that, the animators are just blessed with her writing. It's a great symbiotic relationship, but all glory to her, all thanks to her. But I'm talking to God. But yeah, so guys, that is it. This is my quick review. Again, this will possibly be on YouTube if it recorded correctly. If not, please check out the audio only then on the audio podcasting networks that you use. Again, the links will be like somewhere in the show descriptions. But I hope you guys are enjoying Heaven's Official Blessings. I'm loving it. Please subscribe to the channel. Get alerts. One day I will maybe do a live watch again once I feel a little bit more comfortable with streaming. It's hard, but episode 4 is coming out this week. I can't wait. And like, y'all, they fit so much plot. Like I've noticed like one scene will be like 50 pages, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, yes. But yeah, great show. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait. So I hope you guys can join me next time for more Jailan. And that's all I got. Thank you guys very, very much for listening. Stay safe, and we'll do this again soon. Bye.